Alright, today we are going to review how we are going to solve percent problems using proportions. So just a couple of friendly reminders of what we already know about percents, just revisiting since it's been a while since we might have last talked to them. Maybe not this school year, but in the previous. So a percent literally means per 100. So we always have our percent out of 100. Okay? So think about a grade. If you got a percent, if you have a 73%, that means you got 73 out of the 100 points given. So in a percent is actually going to be an equivalent ratio. And that's what proportions are. They're equivalent ratios. And it's always going to be a very specific ratio of a part to whole. Because in case you forgot, there's actually 3 different types of ratios. There's part to whole to part, or part to part. But it is always going to be part to whole, because if you think about how many possible points you get out of the total of 100. So what it's going to tell us is how much it would be if the whole, or the total, was 100%. So a couple things that we're going to kind of use this for. So we've been using this proportion table in words, original ratio, and new ratio. But if we're talking specifically about a percent, it's going to be a part to whole relationship, and we're going to put numbers here and the percent there. Well, if it's the whole percent, you're going to put the number 100 right there. Now, there's also a couple of key words as well. So when we're finding the part, you might see this keyword as is and then of. So sometimes those kind of help you, so we can use this to help us out. Now, just because you see the word is and of in your word problem doesn't necessarily mean those numbers are going to go there, but I'll help guide you through that. So part, whole, numbers, percent, is over of. That kind of helps us out. So look and see what we're going to do. So on this first one, it says Mia missed 20% of the questions on a test she took yesterday. So she missed 20%. If there were 80 questions on the test, how many did she miss? Well, let's talk about this. Part to whole. But specifically, the part that they want to know is how many she missed. So if you label that, that's going to help you out. So part, whole, numbers, percent. And the 100 is always going to be your total. Well, you either missed the questions or you got them right, but the whole in this situation is going to represent the total questions given. And then, again, you can use those keywords is over of, because I'm going to show you how you can use this to kind of help you write a complete sentence when you need it to. Okay, so let's talk about what we know. Because with proportions, we're going to have 3 of the numbers and we're going to solve for the missing piece. Okay? So that's why I left these blank. Depending on the problem, depends on how you're going to solve that. So she missed 20%, so the percent is going to go over 100. Your percent always goes over 100, and look right there. I have it labeled 20 that were missed. Okay? Then it says there were 80 questions. Well, did she miss 80 questions, or was there a total? Well, if there were 80 questions on there, that means that's the total. So in this situation, we are finding the part that she missed. That's just kind of your fill in the blank right there. Okay? Again, we can cross multiply and divide with every single proportion, or we can look for a scale factor or factor of change, make it a little bit easier. So we know both numbers on the right, so we could go from right to left with the scale factor or factor of change, but I can't get from 100 to 80 by multiplying or dividing. We know both the denominator, the bottom numbers, so we can see from going to the top, well, we know these, watch right here. 100 divided by 5 gets you to 20. So what I do to the right, bottom to top, I can do the right, bottom to top here. Just a little faster way. So we have a within factor of change of 5. So I can say 80 divided by 5. 5 times 1 is 5. Subtract, bring down. 5 times 6 is 30. So we know that x represents 16. Now, if you did not see it that way and you want to keep it consistent and cross multiply and divide, you would get the same answer. So 80 times 20 and then divide by 100. Well, 8 times 2 is 16, and then there's 2 zeros, so you can bring those down. And if you did long division, 1600 or 1600 divided by 100. 100 can't go into 1, it can't go into 16. It goes into 160 once. Subtract, bring down. 100 goes into 600 6 times. So see, we get 16 either way. But if you guys can really look for that pattern, that scale factor or factor of change, you'll see it's a lot easier. So what does this actually represent? This means she missed 16 questions. So we can say Mia missed 16 questions. Because if this were multiple choice, they might have a trick answer there where they said Mia got 16 right, but that's not what that represented. So 16 is 20% of 80. So that's how you can kind of use this as a full sentence stem. Okay, but what it represented in this problem is that she missed 16 questions. All right, so we're either going to find the part or the whole, but let's see what we look at. It says, of the 30 houses on Jason's street, 3 are made out of brick. What percent are made out of brick? So let's underline some key phrases. Of the 30 houses, 3 are made out of brick. What percent? That's what we're trying to figure out. This one was trying to figure out how many did she miss. So we always know it's going to be part, whole, numbers, percent. So for solving for a percent, this is the proportion table we're looking for. Okay, if we're solving for a percent, or if they give me the percent in the problem. The total percent is always 100, and I'm going to use my keywords is over of. We even give you a little thought bubble, of means total. Well, if you stop and think about it, it says of the 30 houses, so that means the total of 30. 3 out of the 30 are made of brick. So I'm going to put brick here, that's the part. And then this is the total houses. Okay? So 3 out of the 30 given were made of brick, and we want to know what percent. So we put X right there. Again, we can cross multiply and divide, or we can look for a scale factor or factor of change. So from 30 to 100, I can't multiply. But from 30 to 3, I can do divide by 10. 30 divided by 10 is 3. So what I do to the left, bottom to top, I'm going to do to the right, bottom to top, from denominator to the numerator. So this is a within, because you're looking within one ratio at a time, within factor change of divide by 10. So 100 divided by 10 is 10, but it's not 10 houses, it's 10%. So X isn't just 10, you have to have that percent sign. Again, if you do not see it that way, that's okay. Just trying to show you more than one way. Every single proportion we can cross multiply and divide. So if that's a way to keep it consistent so you don't forget, do that. So we're going to say 100 times 3 divided by 30. And we're going to see if we still get 10%. Well, 100 times 3 is 300. And 300, whatever you say first, 300 divided by 30, whatever you say first goes on the inside. 30 can't go into 3. 30 goes in 30 once. Subtract, bring down. 30 goes into 0 0 times. So see, we still get 10. Okay? So what percent of the houses are brick? We would say 10% of the houses are brick. So you can't just write the number 10 on here, because if you write just the number 10, you're saying that that was 10 houses, but it wasn't 10 houses, it was actually 3 houses. It's 10%. So that means that 3 is 10% of 30. Okay? Alright, so again, if you need to rewind this video, rewatch it, because I know sometimes you're going through, if you need to pause it as you're writing these down. Oh, and on this one, we were finding the percent. That's the question, what we needed. That's why I put my X where the percent was. Okay? So again, if you need to rewatch this video, just to make sure you feel confident in it, look at your notes, and then make sure you're ready for your assignment. As always, reach out to your teacher if you need help. Good luck.